Food and Beverage Magazine Live, bringing food and beverage to life. With your hosts, James Beard Award winner Jennifer English and Food and Beverage Magazine publisher Michael Politz. Featuring leaders in the hospitality, branded food and beverage, and CPG industries, many of whom are Jennifer and Michael's friends in the business. For an informal and informative conversation where friends in the business share the latest intel, ideas, and best practices. Live, juicy inside scoop from the tastemakers, newsmakers, bread bakers, drink shakers, spoon lickers, clam diggers, farms, foodies, and friends of the food and beverage magazine world. Here are your hosts, Jennifer English and Michael Politz.
See you there.
Don't forget about it.
Hey, how you doing? It's me, Chef Christian Petroni. I'm here today with Nonina Fiorella, one of the biggest NFT skeptics around, to show her why my NFT is the real deal.
What you talking about, NFT?
Nonina, just think of it as owning a member's card to my fan club.
Like this?
Kind of, but it's always on your phone, you can't duplicate it, and it lasts forever. It's not just a picture. This piece of digital art is your token to get cool stuff from me in the future. I got together with my buddies at Ate It to come up with an NFT that would help give back to my community of fans.
Like a familia?
Exactly, Nonina. And if you own my NFT, I'll be able to send you special stuff to your digital address. It's called airdropping.
How do I do it?
Funny you should ask. At my next pop-up, I am doing my signature garlic butter Sicilian slice, and you can get your hands on it too. All you gotta do is click the link below to buy this delicious NFT on crypto.com. Hurry up before they're all gone. Owning this NFT will get you a slice of my infinite pie, and that will make you an official member of the Petroni family. Not in New York? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be coming to the towns of random NFT holders and throwing them private pizza parties for just them and their closest friends, along with a special piece of Gabagool merch. I'll be surprising NFT holders by dropping you my secret family recipes, invites to the new Gabagool HQ for private dinners, and first access to other NFTs that unlock even more experiences with me and my Food Network friends. Wow! Capisce, Nonina?
Capisce, mama.
So, Nonina, what do you think of NFTs now?
I love NFT. Mwah!
Okay, if that doesn't get you excited about the future of food, I don't know what will. Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer English, the editor-at-large of Food and Beverage Magazine. Joining me today is Stefano Reggiani. He is a member of the Petroni family. The Rare Pizza clan was proud to welcome him into the pizza world of NFTs recently when they announced that Chef Christian Petroni was going to be joining us in offering an NFT that is rooted in his sense of hospitality and family and flavor in a style that he describes as maximalism. Garlic butter Sicilian slice, the bubbling cheese, the crisp around the edge as the cheese becomes a crispy tuile. I'm telling you, this is unbelievable. It's irresistible. It dropped yesterday, and we are in the final stages of it being available for sale, and it gets you all kinds of goodies, including an entree to this private pizza party that Stefano and his friends at Ate It are hosting. It's really exciting, and it's an honor to have Steve Reggiani from Ate It joining us today. Ate It is the future of food, focusing on not only pop-ups, but the drops of the biggest, best, rarest, and most delicious food experiences, POAPs, where you collect a badge for eating the best things. He's going to describe it all. He joins us now. How are you?
Great.
Buongiorno.
What an intro. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Glad to be here.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. I'm rocking the rare pizzas merch.
I love that. I have one of those too.
Molto bene.
Molto bene. Hey, let's talk a little bit about this new world. The future of food is something we're using as a phrase we're living in the future of food. For the last 3 years, you've been living it at Ate It, bringing to life where we all go next with restaurants. Talk a little bit about what you saw coming and how you took action and created Ate It.
Yeah, I think it was really born out of frustration. Moving to New York and loving food and coming from the food industry, I was so excited to dive into this playground of delicious food options all around me in New York City. And I kept finding myself doing like 30 to 40 minutes of research every time I wanted to eat something that was like guaranteed great. And after talking to so many friends, it kind of felt like people have become complacent with the amount of work and energy it goes into finding good food. And platforms like Yelp kind of have made that process really difficult because you have to sift through a lot of negativity. So we challenged ourselves to say, how do you get from hungry to eating something certified delicious in 3 thumb taps? And that was the original challenge. And we built an amazing app that aggregates all the top dish recommendations from food media and trusted critics and chefs in the app experience. And then coming out of COVID, we really saw, you know, with adversity comes innovation, and we saw a lot of chefs start to do more pop-ups. We saw a lot of restaurants start to do more limited edition items that are only available for a specific amount of time. A lot of parallels between what's happening now in food and what happened with fashion, where people were in line waiting for a Supreme t-shirt. They're now waiting in line for, you know, a limited edition sandwich or a bowl of ramen. So we think that the future of food is really following that, the same trend as fashion, and we're kind of tapping into that. We have a category within the app called pop-ups and drops, where you can literally see all the limited edition food items that are available in New York City in one place without having to follow 50 different Instagram accounts on Instagram. So that was kind of the beginning of this all. And then Christian wanted to do a pop-up of his own, and that's where we are now.
Let's talk about, there's this generation who has become of age doing Supreme, doing Off-White, doing super sneaker drops. That is a vernacular, a behavior that is very, very formal to them and known to them. Hey, is Christian Petroni here? Let's get him on.
I think we got a surprise guest.
We got a surprise guest. I love that you know how to talk to these kids. I know that you've done a lot with Ate It, but we have Food Network superstar Christian Petroni joining us for the final stage of his NFT drop on crypto.com. Hey, Tony, let's switch this around and get Christian in the big screen here and give him the proper introduction he deserves. Chef Christian Petroni, welcome to Food and Beverage Magazine Live.
Hello, young ladies. So good to see you.
I am so proud of you. We just played your video with Nonina. You dropped your NFT yesterday. You're well on your way to selling out, but I want you to invite people to understand what it is you are actually inviting us to do in becoming part of your family, your food family, your pizza family.
I'm so lucky that I get to do what I love every day. It kind of reminds me of my kids, no matter how crazy they make me, you know, I still love this, you know, and what's really fantastic about what we've Steve and I and Ate It and Crypto have built is like an invitation, you know, into our world that we're so passionate about, and that we live, breathe, sleep, eat, and like now that it's so much easier to pull people into our world, where in the past the only way that I could really do it was if they came to my restaurant, right? And then the Instagram and the social media started getting stronger and stronger, and now we have so many different ways to connect with the people that we love. And this is like the newest and greatest, and only a year in the works for us, Steve, you know. We're totally
Not
even. Chef,
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your success on Food Network. You're the next Food Network star winner. the world comes and wakes up to the fact that you bring this fresh, authentic energy, this big flavor, this maximalism. You go around the country, you go to Miami, to South Beach food and wine festivals, you go all over and you're meeting people and they're just responding to you and the flavors and the sense of family that you bring. I've said this before. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have survived the pandemic, because you and Guy and your friends from Food Network showed us how to survive. Talk a little bit about that moment that Food Network transformed your life and brought you here. Talk about the response you get from people.
Yeah, I started on Chopped, what feels like, I think over 10 years ago, what feels like beyond a lifetime ago. And I competed, and a year or two later, to get the call back to go and ask the guest host was wild. And then, to this day, it's still sort of a mystery to me why or how that happened. And I know who's responsible for it. And I always give Beth and Vivian credit, but I'm still confused by the whole thing, yet incredibly grateful.
But we love you. There's nothing
we-
confusing. You're real, you're authentic, and you're so open, and you're so generous, and you're so big and so real that you represent to us everything we love about food and hospitality. And you've poured that into this NFT.
I think the realness really comes from, taking the ride of really high peaks, incredibly low valleys, and then back up and then back down a few hundred times, right? And it'll humble you. It'll make you confident. It's as hard as taking lumps can be, losing a business, whether it was through purposes in your control or or not, whether it's partners or a pandemic. To be able to do this sort of on our terms, right? To be able to share what we love is just
It's unbelievable.
It's just really great. And it's really an important responsibility to me to put our best foot forth and really sort of give us the most authentic. My goal is to give you the most authentic version of myself, because when you have nothing to lose, I've learned that you have everything to give. And I just came up with that, Jen. I think that you'd be
That is the
impressed.
most brilliant thing. I'm glad we have that on tape, because that's going to be one of the most inspiring lines that I will ever share.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not that you have everything to gain, you have everything to give. That speaks to the quality, the heart, the who you are. To me, that's why we love you. That's why this moment has revealed your superpowers. That's why this NFT is an expression of your superpowers. And from this genesis, Steve, this has to have been what you saw in Chef Christian and said, I know what we can do with this.
Did somebody write that down? Because I lost it already.
No, we have it. We have it.
Good.
We got this recorded. I got you.
No, Christian's always been one of those guys that I've seen that just like gets it. There's a lot of chefs out there that get caught up in everything that they do and get caught up in the food. And I think, the food is important, but you have to have an open mindset and you have to be forward thinking. And that was one of the things with Christian. I knew it was right to do this project first with Christian, because he believes in us, and he knows that you have to innovate in order to move forward.
So how better than to get a guy who gets it with a guy who eats it, put them together, and you end up with this incredible NFT. We said edible NFTs. We invented them as a category of inspiration for the industry over a year ago with Wolf and Lion, with gin. We've lost gin to the COVID. I've picked it up and are keeping going with it. We're marching forward with this idea of edible NFTs. And somebody said very smartly, I don't want an NFT that I can't eat. How are we going to make this something to eat? Steve, how did this happen? You actually are giving us an NFT that we can eat. Oh, wait, what have we got here?
Oh, baby.
I'm showing off my garlic bread Hattori Hanzo.
Oh,
Annihilator. And
Epic.
wanted you to, but I really wanted you
the
to
crumb on that bread.
This is from Kneaded Bread, which is a world-class bakery downstairs for me. And they put huge chunks of Orecchio provolone in this sourdough, and you see that piece of cheese right there? You see that?
Yeah.
Provolone.
They're
I
on
apologize. Carry on.
What if you made that into a grilled cheese sandwich?
We can as my mentor Guy Fieri would say, we can put that on a flip flop.
Yeah, and it would be delicious.
On anything.
Let me get a bite, bro.
Before we let you go, because I know we've only got you for another couple of minutes, let's talk about the fact that this is the first NFT that you can eat.
Indeed,
you
it
get
is.
The NFT, you go to a pizza party. Tell us how important it was to make it something that I could actually take a bite of to understand.
Yeah, I mean, when Christian came to us and said, "Yo, I want to do an exclusive pop-up with Ate It," we had just taken the red pill and gone down the whole rabbit hole of NFTs. Met the Rare Pizzas guys recently, and was just so inspired by the community that they've built around pizza, and just like the innovation behind everything. And when Petroni kind of came to us and said, "We want to do a pop-up," we said, well, let's do it different than everyone else. Let's make it an NFT that you actually, when you buy the NFT, you get to experience the pop-up and more, and you become part of your fan club, part of your familia. And that was the precipice of it all. And I think a lot of the feedback out there about food NFTs, big props to anyone that's doing anything in the space. Everyone, we're all early and we're all first movers, and we all got love for each other. But I think the biggest feedback that we're seeing from people is that they don't buy into it because you can't eat it. And the food industry tends to lack in terms of speed to innovate. And we think that, we can help the food industry kind of wrap their head around a somewhat complex concept by simplifying things. And I think we did that really well with the Nonna spot. Nonna Fiorella just killed it. And she's going to be at the party that you can get into too if you buy the NFT. So she'll be signing autographs.
And we love everything that you're doing. And so there are 500 of these NFTs that are being sold through crypto.com. They've been great to work with. If this is your first foray into this space, crypto.com has made it easy to do. Well, it's a very easy onboard.
You see what happens, Jen, is the provolone will start to melt while it's baking. This is actually the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And so you can see that this provolone actually melted out of the bread, and what you end up with is, tell me if you can hear that.
Oh, that's the best part.
I'll turn my mic off now.
You know what I call those? Because I'm here in Arizona right now, the land of chicharron. That's a cheese chicharron.
Oh yeah, babe.
A cheese churro.
A cheese chicharron. Imagine sprinkling that on top of some risotto. Imagine if you're making an arancini and you get that cheesy mix in with the breadcrumbs so that when you're frying it up, it gets that jewel. I'm telling you, to me, the possibilities are endless. But with a guy with a philosophy of flavor rooted in maximalism, what's not possible?
That's what I've been saying all day.
Tell me what the experience has been like getting into the NFT space. You've been doing a ton of media interviews. You're online. You're on Instagram Live. You're doing Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse with us. You're doing a bunch of stuff. What has been the eye-opener for you in the way this expands beyond traditional TV and radio?
Just learning. I love learning. I'm someone who loves to learn. I'm still learning how to cook. I'm still learning how to be a better person in general. And so I'm really loving this sort of foray into this new world that I've never really allowed myself out of.
Has anything excited you about it in particular? Have you found something you go, I want to do more of this?
I lost you. Oh yeah. I mean, listen, if it wasn't exciting, I promise you wouldn't see me here, right? And if it wasn't something that I didn't think was something that I want to be a part of forever, like I know that this is our future, right? And it's all just like this roller coaster ride is just a lot of fun. And this first one is just, I couldn't have asked for a better way to do it. And I'm just really, I'm taking it all in. I'm loving this community. I'm loving the sense of community. And it's just, it really feels like a really clean extension into a new form of or being able to deliver on a new form of hospitality, you know?
So I'm going to give you, with the 1 minute we have left, because I know you guys have a heart out, you've got more interviews to do. You got 1 minute. Tell everybody, invite them to go to crypto.com. Tell them what you want them to do. Invite them to your party.
Listen, let's do like one of those YouTube videos. Smash that like button. Hit the thing to subscribe. No, I'm kidding.
You're awesome, man. I love you.
I love you.
Hit the thing.
No.
Do the thing.
No,
that's so good.
what I think needs to happen is, if you're in here right now, know that you're talking to a few people that are sincere and passionate, that wanted to use real art, right? Like you can see, I'm going to be putting up a bunch of behind the scenes claymation footage of this NFT being made, like moving it a centimeter and taking a picture, moving it a centimeter, taking a picture. Like this isn't like, this is art. And the fact that it's part of something that I do is like a win-win, that we get to tie in the food, we get to keep artists working, where you know, there's so many pieces to this thing that it's just a win on so many levels. So thank you for listening. I would hope that when you pop off of this, if you've been in here, you go check out the link, go in there. And, you know, we're really grateful for you to be involved in this with us.
Because the pizza party is March 20th in New York City, but it's the first of many that are going to be taking place across the country. And we want to say thank you to Chef Christian Petroni. As we say, food is the only one of the fine arts, the capital F fine arts, that you experience with all 5 of your senses. If that's not maximalist opportunity, I don't know what is. You bring it to life. You put it in a pan, you smoke it, you crisp it, you cook it, but most importantly, you make it with love, and then you share it. And I want to say thank you to Steve. Thank you to the AIDIT team. If you don't have this NFT, this is a historic moment. This is the moment where everything begins to evolve for the food world. And I want to thank Christian Petroni for bringing him and his passion to this part of our world. The edible NFT world is changing. Edible NFTs and Steve are changing everything we do moving forward. Check it out at crypto.com under celebrities. It's the drop on the front page still. I just want to say what an honor it is to have you here and share this moment with you. Big flavor comes from a big heart. Thank you for sharing.
Mama Jan, we love you. We're grateful for what you do for all of us in the food community. Ciao for now.
Whether you are thinking about becoming a restaurateur or you are already in the business, Michael Politz has written a must-read, The Food and Beverage Magazine's Guide to Restaurant Success. Pick up your copy today at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, or wherever fine books are sold.